Welcome back. So today is going to be the insurance video that I know a lot of people have been waiting for. Hopefully this video can help some people out when they are buying a boat and they are looking to get insurance on their boat.
Yeah, and learn from our mistakes, basically.
Yes, definitely.
So we're going to start by telling you when we first got insurance, and there was a whole ordeal that we didn't even talk to you guys about. But now that we're talking about insurance, it's the perfect opportunity to tell you this story. So we first originally had Geico, and the premium was really high. But before we got Geico, Austin was working really hard on preparing to get insurance with Geico. This was when we first were going to have the boat. So he was working with the company. Before we signed over the papers to our boat, Austin was getting pre-approved and all that stuff. So we got pre-approved, and then the day we closed was the day that Hurricane Matthew was announced, and it was heading straight for us, as you guys know if you watched that video. So we called the insurance when we signed over the papers, and basically they told us since the hurricane was announced that they weren't going to insure us.
So we had to bear the storm without any insurance, which was crazy.
Yeah, we were so stressed out.
And then, so after the storm, we went to Geico, and since we were pre-approved, they signed the policy over the next day that the storm was over. And the premium was, I think it was $3,500 a year, which was pretty high. But that's because we were new boat owners. We haven't owned a boat, and we were going to be sailing. They had some requirements, such as, being with a captain initially, and, him having a log and showing our ASA certifications up to 50 feet and things that we were doing to abide by insurance's policies. So the premium was high, and I thought boat insurance was just boat insurance. I didn't know that there was certain kinds of policies and whatnot. So a friend of mine had a different policy, and he said he was also a new boat owner, and he said he was paying $1,500 per year, which was less than half than I was paying per year. So I contacted that company, and we got that policy. We
signed a policy that said that when the boat crashes, we get the agreed upon value of the boat, which was what we paid for the boat. So that means when you crash, all you get is what you agreed upon. You don't get any you don't get any more money that you put into the boat, or
any projected value, or you don't get the fair market value. You get the exact value that you agreed upon. And we didn't know this. We just look at the premium difference, and we're like, oh, we're saving half the premium, and so what a good deal. Not realizing that our boat was gonna be totaled and crashed, and it was gonna cost us a lot more.
All right, so the agreed upon value, that means they don't pay the haul out, they don't pay the storage while your boat is getting looked at. If it crashes, doesn't pay any of your costs out of pocket for living or anything, because our boat had to be up on the hard, so we couldn't live on it. So it paid for nothing like that. So learn from our mistakes, and when you go and look at insurance for boat, make sure that certain things are in there, because
know what type of policy you have, and know the repercussions of the policy.
And we were being honest with you guys. Like, at that time, we weren't well equipped of what we were getting ourselves into, with the insurance. We weren't very diligent, and we are being honest with you guys because learn from what we did, basically.
So we had the policy, and the next question was, well, the boat crashed, so now we have to deal with what we have. And so the way to do that is we didn't want anybody to hold it up. Especially the insurance company. We didn't want the insurance company to hold up things, because we looked at it as everything was out of our pocket. The haul out was out of our pocket. The storage for the inspection was out of our pocket. The inspection was out of our pocket. Every cost was out of pocket. So I made sure that I contacted the adjuster every day to see what was done and what I could do to expedite the process. And he was a really nice guy.
Yeah. And
he helped us out with a lot of costs that he didn't have to. He didn't have to pay for the haul out. He didn't have to pay for the storage, which he did. We didn't have to pay for the mast being taken out of the boat, because they obviously dropped the mast on the ground. But that's pretty much our insurance.
Yeah.
So if I were to give anybody recommendations on insurance, I would say, if you want to get a agreed upon value policy, the premiums are going to be cheaper. But you have to consider, if something does happen, you could be thousands and thousands of dollars out of pocket, like we were. Mm-hmm. Luckily, we had a great adjuster who was working with us very diligently and
that
paid
knew
for
of
a lot
us,
of
and
parts.
he felt really bad for the whole situation. So that was awesome, really great.
Also, if you ever hire a captain and you have a decision to be made, you tell him to turn around and he says no, jump on the guy.
Punch him in his face.
Don't let him go off of his intuition. So I hope that this cleared up a little bit of the insurance. I'm sorry there's not a little bit more details about different types of insurances. A lot of people are asking what we had and what we would have done differently. We would not have had the agreed upon value. We would have had something that had a lot more protection, a lot more costs that would pay for things like hotels and haul out and the inspection and things like that. We would have had that covered so that we didn't.
Yeah.
If a disaster does happen, you're not even more money out of pocket, I guess you could say. So,
Yeah.
not saying that an agreed upon value is bad policy, but that's what we had. And
I think to clear up some confusion too, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, why'd you hire a captain? And if you own your own boat.
insurance, we told insurance that we would hire a captain and that we were going to be with captains because we befriended a captain, as you guys know, in Phoenix, who was flying down to help us for free. And he was an actual, he runs a sailing school, he's an actual captain. This other guy,
That what sucks is that we were actually on our way to sail the Bahamas with our friend that is a licensed captain for a good bit, and we were going to get a lot of experience with that. And so
insurance knew this. So that's pretty much our experience with insurance. We can't really give insight on the different types of policies and things like that, but we had a lot of people who just wanted to know our story. So that's pretty much what happened to us, and maybe you can learn some things from it, or whatever the case may be. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video.
Oh, but we are announcing what we're doing next in the next, I don't know about the next video or the video after that, we're not sure yet, but stay tuned. It's really exciting and we're super excited about it to be continuing something very fun. So stay tuned.
Catch you next time.
Peace out.